Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty good one. I hope you enjoy this. Let's start this. So this story time takes place in 2018. Now, I had this friend. Let's just call this friend Noah, okay? Now, Noah is a good dude. He's one of my best friends. He's been one of my best friends for a very long time. And around 2018, he was getting married to this girl who I did not like whatsoever. And it's not for a bad reason, okay? Like, it takes a lot for me to not like somebody, but she just did countless things that I did not agree with towards my friend, and it bothered me. For example, Noah and this girl started dating in 2016, okay? Now, 6 months into the relationship, I caught her at a party kissing some dude. And I immediately told my friend Noah about it, so he broke up with her for like a day, and she called him the next day and yelled at him for breaking up with her and made it seem like it was his fault and that he didn't give her enough attention and that's why she cheated and he should just get better at being in a relationship. And 2 days later, he forgave her for cheating and they got back together. So I really did not like his girlfriend. So when I found out that in 2018 they were engaged and going to get married, I was super skeptical of that whole situation and I did not think it was going to last. So fast forward, it's 2018, they're about to get married, there's a month before the wedding. So like everything was planned at this point, like very close to them getting married. And I was really just hoping that they would work out and that everything would be good and that she changed and she wouldn't ever cheat again. But sadly I was wrong, okay? So a month before their wedding, I get invited to this party by my other friend. Let's just call him Cody, okay? Cody invites me to this party. He invites my friend Noah to this party. He invites Noah's fiance. He invites everybody that we went to school with. He invited a lot of people to this party. It was his going away party, so he wanted everyone to be there so he could say goodbye to them. He was moving away in like 2 months for some new job opportunity. So he wanted to have the party now and then use the next 2 months to get ready and move. So the night comes where this party is happening, and me, Noah, and Noah's fiance decided to go together. So Noah and his fiance came to my house, they picked me up, and we drove to my friend's house together. So the whole party was awesome for the most part, but sadly towards the end, things weren't so awesome, okay? So towards the end of this party, when things started winding down, it went from like 40 people to like 20, and Noah starts feeling really sick. He's tired, he wants to go home, he keeps complaining about how awful he feels, and his fiance wants to stay. She's like, I'm having a good time. Like, can we just stay like 1 more hour? And he's like, no, like, babe, I don't feel good. Can you please take me home? And then she says, well, I don't want to go home yet. And I give her this look of like disappointment, this look of like, hey, your fiance is sick. Like, go home with him and hang out with him. But she clearly didn't want to. So I just say it. I'm like, look, man, I'll go home with you. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude, I got you. Because first of all, my friend wasn't even drinking. He didn't have a single drink this party. He was just randomly sick, so that's why I was really concerned for him. So yeah, me and my friend left this party, and his fiance stayed there, which was just super weird to me. I did not understand that. So we get to my friend's car, we drive back to his house, he lays down on the couch, I grab him a thermometer and I give it to him so he can take his temperature. I went into nurse mode, I give him the thermometer, I grabbed him a blanket, some water, just taking care of the homie. And he didn't have a fever, which was good. He wasn't like super sick. He just had a really bad headache and he said that he was nauseous. So he was assuming he'd be fine, and so was I. But I was still super confused as to why his fiance wanted to stay at that party so bad. So I asked him, I'm like, yo, aren't you a little bit upset that your fiance like stayed there without coming back with us? And he's like, yeah, man, I don't know why she's doing that. So I text my friend Cody, the one that was having the going away party, and I'm like, hey, man, keep an eye on Noah's fiance. She didn't come home with us for some reason. She really wanted to stay. Now, Cody knows about Noah and his fiance, and he knows about how she cheated once before. So he texts me back. He's like, don't worry, bro. I already have my eyes on her. She keeps talking to this guy. They seem like they're flirting, so I'm definitely keeping my eye on them. So I reply, and I'm like, all right, man, thank you. So Noah ends up falling asleep like 30 minutes later on the couch, and I'm just sitting on the couch next to him, just waiting to hear what's going on. And all of a sudden, I get this text message from my friend Cody, and he's like, yo, man, Noah's girl and that guy she was talking to just went into my guest room together and shut the door. And that's when I was like, oh, hell no. So I got up, I grabbed Noah's keys, I storm out the house, I get in the car, drive right back to my friend's house. I get to his house, I go inside, Cody's waiting for me, and we're just sitting in the kitchen waiting for her and him to come out of that room. So I sit in the kitchen for like 45 minutes waiting for her to come out of that room with this guy. And finally the door opens and her and this guy walk out. And she sees me sitting there and her face immediately changes from happy to just, oh fuck, I'm caught. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And she goes, nothing. I thought you left with Noah. Like, why are you here? So I'm like, oh, I just came back to check on you because I heard that you went into a guest room with a guy. And the guy standing next to her just looks so guilty. And I'm like, hey man, she's getting married in a month? He's like, what? And he looks at her and she looks at him. And I'm like, yep, she's getting married to one of my best friends in a month. But now I don't think that's gonna happen because when I tell him that you cheated on him a second time, I don't think he's gonna like that. And she goes, Austin, please don't tell him. So I just say it. I'm like, look, your fiance is homesick right now on the couch, sleeping by himself because you want to stay here and fucking cheat on him for a second time? Nah, I'm good. I'm telling him. And then she says one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard. She goes, Austin, we're not even married yet. I didn't cheat. I'm like, oh, that's how relationships work? I didn't know you had to be married to cheat on somebody. Because I've definitely seen people cheat who aren't married. And she's like, well, we aren't married yet, so it's not like I'm breaking a law or anything. I'm like, no, you're just breaking my best friend's trust in his fucking heart. And she goes, I'm sorry, just please do not tell him, okay? I'm like, no, I'm telling him. You stayed back while he was sick to cheat on him. Not to mention, you've already cheated once. This is your second time doing this. Like, he deserves to know. Personally, I can't even believe he forgave you the first time. And this is way different. You kissed somebody the first time. This time he did something way worse. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't think you know. You just try to justify it by saying you're not married yet. And she's like, I get it, okay? I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, look. The only way that I'm not telling him that you did what you did is if you go home right now and you tell him yourself. And she goes, fine, I will. I'm like, I don't believe you. I'm going to go with you to make sure. And she goes, that's not necessary. And I'm like, well, actually it is necessary because I'm the one with the car and you drank tonight, which means you can't drive, so let's go. So me, her, and my friend Cody all went back to Noah's house together. Cody left his own party to be with us because he knew that Noah was probably going to be heartbroken. So we went back to Noah's house and we walked in and Noah wakes up and he looks so confused because Cody's with us and he was supposed to be at his own party. And he can see that his girl looks really sad and he can see that I look really sad. And he just goes, what's going on? And she sits down next to him and proceeds to tell him everything. Like, I didn't even know what they specifically did in the guest room at that party, but she said everything. And yeah, she full on cheated. So Noah starts freaking out. He's like, I can't believe you did this. Like, I was sick. I wanted you to come home with us, and you cheat on me. This is the second time you've done this. Like, we're done. We're done forever. I'm calling off the wedding. Like, tell your parents to cancel their plane tickets and not fly out here for the wedding because it's off. Her parents lived across the country at this point, and they were planning on flying out to see them get married. So anyway, after they go back and forth for like 30 minutes, Noah tells her to leave and to never talk to him again. And she goes into the room, grabs some of her things, and leaves. And me and Cody just sit on the couch with him the whole night and pretty much just make sure he's okay and talk to him and stuff. And yeah, sadly, this story doesn't have the happiest ending. They broke up. They called off the wedding. But I think it's a good thing because my friend went on to find a girl that really cared about him and didn't cheat on him. So I think that part's pretty happy. So yeah, moral of this story is don't cheat. It's never okay. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
I'm like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead, and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how I know she's done. My life changed in a flash, all my friends gone. My friends gone.